Back in the late 60s, early 70s, the Vietnam War was raging and very unpopular. LSD had been invented and became readily available, and a whole new group of people emerged, a culture of people known as hippies. Many of these people were raised in the city and ultimately took Timothy Leary's advice when he said, tune in, turn on, and drop out. The result being that they would seek a country environment after having been raised in the city, and many of them formed groups known as communes. There were communes all over the United States, but the Southwest seemed to be particularly adaptable to the concept of commune living. This movie takes place in a valley in the south central part of Colorado known as the Huerfano. This particular event was a celebration for the reopening of the Redwing store and post office, which had burned down several months prior, and the hippies had got together and helped Porfi Valdez, the proprietor, rebuild, and this was the celebration again to reopen the Redwing store and post office. The band here was a band called AAA, standing for the Anonymous Artists of America. The AAA was a band that had been formed at Stanford University several years prior to this. They had been part of the Ken Kesey experiment in the Bay Area. Ken Kesey and the Merry Pranksters finally had gotten their own psychedelic bus together and taken a trip across the United States, playing wherever they could, winding up in Woodstock, New York to play for a wedding for a couple named Sybil and Allie. On their way back from New York, they had heard about the Huerfano Valley and stopped to check it out. Ended up buying land on the south rim of the valley. It was kind of cold in the winters because they didn't get much sun. They ended up with the CB handle of the icebox. This particular film was shot in 8mm by a guy named Barry Kessler, who happened to be spending the summer in the Huerfano and at the AAA. I'll try to point out some of these people as they appear in the film. This guy with the yellow shirt is a trombone player named Lindsay Hazley, who now lives in Austin, Texas, a fine musician. This kid with a sucker in his mouth is Porfi's son, I believe, and I'm sorry I don't remember his first name. There's Porfi, smoking with the cigarette hanging out of his mouth, kind of a signature for Porfi. I think he smokes to this day. This narration takes place in 2005, and Porfi still lives in the same house. He's fixed it up a lot, but he's still in the same location. The post office and store are long gone. Here's an unknown cowboy singer. I should know his name, but I don't. There the kids again having a good time. This cowboy is just going on in the midst of everything. The band hasn't begun to play yet. Those people in the back are some people that ended up at Libre. I'll give you their names later on. And the kids play on. In the middle of that picture is Betsy Rich. She now lives at Libre. Next to her, the little boy with the curly hair is Bo Sewell. He's 37 years old now and has a wonderful rock and roll band called Planet O. That's Trixie Merkin. She was the bass player of the AAA band. Today she lives in Denver, Colorado. And in those days, her claim to fame was that she appeared naked except for her bass in the Rolling Stone magazine. She's playing guitar here, and undoubtedly it's one of her many songs that she's singing. She's a fine songwriter. She teaches tennis and writes articles for several magazines in Denver. The red-headed woman there is Linda Fleming. She still lives at Libre. She was one of the founding members. The guy with the hot dog roaster there is a guy named Crazy Charlie, part of a group of people who came to stay at a farm called the Vargas Farm that summer. There's Adrian. She was the bus driver and mechanic for the AAA band. Today she has a bakery in La Vida, Colorado, not far from Redwing, with her partner Mary Bachiel. These three guys are still all in the valley. The guy on the left is Harold Vargas, and the guy on the right is Dan Archuleta, who now lives with his wife up in Colorado Springs. There's Trixie getting ready to play. The guy in the white t-shirt is Jim Salaggi, a fine piano player. The guy with the blonde guitar is Chip Baker, and this is Norman Link. The drummer is David Ackerman. He now lives in Seattle. There he is. There's Ace Hansen, a little out of focus. The singer is Jack Wortell. He lives in Denver. He's just retired from an antique store business. The guy with the shaker is Little Richard. He died several years back. There's Carrie, who's singing this song in the background. Carrie Sewell, fine singer. Chip Baker in the background, Trixie in the foreground. There's Jim Salaggi again. He's a great jazz piano player. David Ackerman. And Jack Wortell. He could be singing the song you heard earlier called Huerfano. Norman singing perhaps a song you heard a little bit earlier called The Redwing Chicken. There's a whole band in action. Little Richard, cigarette hanging out of his mouth. And there's Carrie playing tambourine, a great tambourine player and singer. A couple of local guys discussing this party. Linda Fleming again. There's Brent Sewell in the front. Patsy Krebs, a fine painter, lives in the Bay Area these days. There's Crazy Charlie again with another load of hot dogs. There's Carrie singing a song that I'm pretty sure wasn't this song. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Rolling Stones version, or her version of the Rolling Stones Honky Tonk Woman. There's Len Frazier with his daughter Taza Good. His son Mazio between his legs there. There goes Taza looking for her mom, I think. And there her mom happens to be singing. Tony Frazier there in front of the microphone. There's Tony Magar attempting to play drums. Finally, Mazio made it in his mother's arms. She continues to sing. Norman Link in the back playing the cowbell. This little boy is the son of Robert Sussman, and I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. David Ackerman, enjoying his drumming. Tony Frazier, the black woman, later became a prison guard. This was a method of getting the foam off of tap beer, which often came out too foamy. One of David's signatures was that he played with his wallet on his snare drum. I don't know what that meant. There's Trixie making the face that she makes. There's Debbie, who was Jack Wortel's wife at the time. Linda Fleming doing a Libre dance. There's Robert's son again. There's a woman that I don't know, but she's holding Tawa, who is the daughter of Pat Raines. Another guy that I don't know. It looks like I should know him, but a lot of people came and went in the valley. Two guys with sort of Beatle haircuts there. A baby, I have no idea. But there's Norman singing a song. Could be Paula's Dog Ate My Chickens. Ace Hansen. A lot of stories about Ace Hansen. He was also known as Ace the Grace. A local congratulating David Ackerman. There's Tony on a white horse. It's a fine picture. Another woman I should know. There's Taza Good. This is Patsy Krebs, and she's about to make her face for you. There it is. Ace the Grace out of focus. There's Ellie Link. She went on to lead the preschool for the following 30 years. A guy named Danny Lentz, who was the husband of a woman who owned a liquor store in Walsenburg. There's George Parrish's wife, Mary, and their son. Or daughter, I'm not sure. Tony Frazier again. Fred Archuleta, the brother of Dan, who I spoke of earlier. Carrie and Adrian, who has changed her shirt. An unknown motorcyclist. There's Porfy probably thanking the hippies for turning out and rebuilding his building. A typical looking hippie girl. I should know her and I don't. Here's Bessie Berman dancing with Dan Archuleta. Bessie lived in the valley for a while. Her father invented Spam, the rumor has it. Legend has it. There's me, Brent Sewell. I'm playing the bass. It's turned into a jam session. There's Little Richard playing the drums. He was famous for taking a drum solo and then falling off his drum stool backwards as a finale. You can sort of see the frenzy. Lindsay and Ace, the horn section. All in all, a fine time was had by all at this wonderful day in Redwing, Colorado.